happen for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man, it can't be.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Modify Your Life Podcast, where I am your host, Anthony Lopez, also known as Heavy to Modified. And today on Modify, where we talk about modifying your life mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, we got Big JJ in the house.
What is up?
What's up, big dog? How we doing, man?
We are doing good.
All right, cool.
Things
Podcast
can be
over.
great, but we can do good. It could be
better.
good. No, you know what? Things are going good.
That's what
Honestly,
I'm talking about, man.
Things are going good.
I want to make it a habit to get you on the podcast once a month to update you, because we got a lot of people following your journey. And you mean, obviously, last year you started off in my place. This year you started off in my place. but
shit you sent me, man. Can I pull it out?
Honestly, Frankie, can you hand me the iPad real quick while we're talking? Because I want to show this, because this is something funny. So, while we're starting off this, man, why don't you share with everyone how you been doing, man? How's 2024 been treating you? Any lessons you've learned?
A lot.
I'm gonna set up my stuff over. I didn't expect to use the iPad this one, but I think we can't tell a story without. Yeah. Do your thing. Do your thing.
So, 2024, definitely did not expect to be back here. Definitely did not. From having my own apartment, everything. Yeah, it was just crazy. But I feel like everything's like deja vu. Like last year, being here now, I felt like it was a dream. I felt like I didn't even have my apartment. It feels like everything is happening again. So I'm starting off here. I'm in a new gym. My back's up against the wall, and I'm grinding again. Right, grinding the same way. I'm not waking up like at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. anymore. I'm not doing a bodybuilding show. That's the only thing that's different. But I now know what can happen if I decide to take that same path and where it will lead me. So I'm gonna go ahead and try the other path, where it'll probably be a lot better than what it was last year. So I am back in AJ's. I lost my apartment. And that, honestly, throughout this whole month of January, I've been grinding. I've been working more. I've been holding myself accountable. And I am now learning how to create structure in my life. So to continue to keep growing, because I've noticed that every time my back's up against a wall, I do what I got to do, and I'll get out of it, and I'll get my head above water, and then I'll just be content. I'll chill out a little bit, think I'm fine. And then once my head goes back underwater, then again, I'm doing it. I'm back, I'm grinding, and I get my head above water, and it's just been an ongoing cycle. So now I've been able to catch that, and I'm working on that. I'm working towards those things to prevent that from happening. Right? You got on me once I moved in. You got on me the first two weeks. I had to adjust.
First 2 days.
First 2 days.
First 24 hours.
Literally. Once I got here,
it's because it's different. Okay. Well, I want to get back real quick before we get into the seriousness. I do what I do. You know what, man? I realize that like not every single podcast has to be so like start off seriously, and I feel like I don't want to like steer away from my funny side or like my not saying natural side, because I feel like I'm pretty the same person in real life than I am on social media. But like I feel like sometimes it gets a little too serious. Like I feel like I have to like reel it in for, like from the sit down conversations, right? Because we talk a lot of crap, and you know what I mean. And I always want to kind of get a mixture. I want people to come here and learn, laugh, be inspired, live, laugh, love, So beginning of the year, Big John, moved in with me and stuff like that. And by choice, I wanted him to move back in because my boy didn't fail you. I don't think he gave it his all. And I think he learned a big lesson, something that I could never taught him, just life taught him, right? A valuable lesson, which we'll get into. But me being the smart ass friend that I am, because as soon as he moved in, I waited no time to freaking let him know that he lost his apartment. But it's all jokes now. It already happened. It is what it is, right? So on Instagram, I seen this post and pulled up right now. So I said, whatever you do these next 12 months, just make sure you're not in the same place this time next year. Bro, that post talked to me, bro.
It talked to me too. I was like, fuck.
I just noticed I didn't even like that. I mean, I don't know what Instagram that is, bro. I like that. But all right, we can take it off the screen now. But that's absolutely funny, man. But you learned a lesson, man.
Yeah.
You learned a valuable lesson about consistency. And you learn, and I from our conversation we have since you've been here, which I'm happy to have you back, man. I feel like nothing makes me feel better that I could take a little bit of stress on my homies off back when he's working for it, right? Something that I've heard, I think it was not the baby, little baby saying one of the, which is weird. You wouldn't think I would be, listening to a podcast with him on it, but he actually has some knowledge to say about business and stuff, and just in life in general. And he said, I have no problem giving money to my people that don't need it, but I'll never give money to someone that needs it. And he explained it as saying, like, I'm never going to give my friend a handout that's not putting in the work and that needs this handout and not going to do anything with it. But if you don't need my handout, if you don't need my help, then I'm more likely going to help you because you're putting the work to not need me. Right? So with that, that's how I kind of looked at it kind of with you, is that even though obviously what happened has already happened, you lost apartment and everything like that, regardless from that, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? You gave it your all and you had to learn this lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like think about it, man. Like you had to go through that and to learn this lesson and to kind of understand that, like, damn, I did work hard. It wasn't a dream, bro. You owned your own apartment. Yeah. You know what I mean? You made it in Vegas. You did what you had to do. Right. So I don't want you to look back like, oh, it felt like it was a dream. No, it wasn't a dream. It was reality. But I think you quickly realized at a young age in your 20s that if you don't work hard, literally the podcast I shot with Frankie before this, if you could lose it in a second. Right. And a lot of people do that. They start working for what they want. They start working for what they want. They really want this thing. They really want this thing. And then they get that thing and then they stop doing everything they could. They stop doing everything they had to do to get to it. Mm-hmm. You lose your 20 pounds. You forget how you lost 20 pounds. You start going back to your old ways. You start making a little bit of money. You forget how you started making money. You start going back to your old ways, man. And I think you sharing this story is one badass, bro, because a lot of people would hide some shit like that. Right? A lot of people would keep that truth to their self or to the grave. Or like, hey, man, let's not talk about this right now until I'm doing good. Yeah. But the fact that you're so open and be like, yo, this is me and this is what happened and this is what you learned from it, you're going to be able to share this with so many people that are going to feel like maybe someone is losing their place right now. Maybe someone just got their car repoed. Maybe they had to learn the lesson of accountability and consistency. Yes. Right? But like, 100%. What are some lessons you learned from it though? Like now being here and now, like, well, okay, not even lessons, bro. What are you doing this year that you didn't do last year? What did you learn from it? Because you can't fail if you've learned. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Just being all in. Being all in with myself, right? It's not, I don't got to prove anything to anyone but myself.
And the credit bureau.
And yeah, for sure. I owe other, but in my head, my logic is like, I'm gonna be very successful this year, and I'm gonna pay it all off. So I'm not even tripping.
Me first, please.
Yes, you first, or whoever gets to me first.
Whoever gets, bro, Frankie will be on you, man.
But it's just really being all in, right?
Yeah.
It's being all in and being in tune with myself, because if I'm all in with myself, that means I'm able to hold myself accountable. I am able to, like, I'm in a new space, for example, at a gym. We're at Chris's gym now, and I'm feeling like myself. Feel like myself that I was back home. That was something I was searching for all year last year. You were there. Like, I couldn't, it was like I was trying to do different styles of training, and I was applying it, but it wasn't me. I was doing...
Is that why you changed your hair so many colors?
No, get the fuck out of here.
I was a simple question. Hey, whoa. Don't shoot the host, all right? Don't shoot the hostess with the mostest. Just asking. But question though. My hair. Wait, hey, man. Hey, I'm not judging, bro. I'm not judging. All right? I'm not judging you at all, okay? My daughter. Quick question though.
Yeah.
So who do you feel you were trying to be last year? Like, cause you keep on saying like you're in search for yourself. Like, what made you move to Vegas? Think you had to become someone different? Like, why wouldn't Big John, who was successful in California, continue to be Big John that's successul here? Like what was it? Do you feel like you moved to area code, so you had to become another person?
No,
or
kinda. Moving to Vegas was like, all right, I'm gonna figure out what I'm made of,
And people don't even know, like, we moved in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
quick. We had a conversation in jacuzzi. Mm-hmm. 2 months later, I got an apartment, and 3 months later, Big John was here. Yep. That's like how fast it happened. Literally, that's the timeline. Yeah. We moved before Christmas time, and we literally were talking at the end of summer. It was raining while we were talking in the jacuzzi.
there was a time when we were at Evolution and you were thinking about not going, and then you told me, "Hey, if I don't go, you should go." And then in my head, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go alone." So, but I was kind of hoping you weren't gonna go either, because I was like, "This is really gonna happen."
This is bro. You're such a real one, bro. You got up and moved, bro. Honestly, like just thinking about that, man. You really betted on your boy, and like I'm gonna move with him. My man knows what he's talking about. He got my back.
But you also betted on me because
that's
you didn't
true.
have to tell me to come.
No, I just know you. I mean, I know you're a good trainer.
You know,
when someone's good. Like sometimes you make some dumb decisions. I'm not gonna lie, but at the end of the day, bro, we all make dumb decisions. Like I just talked about like Frankie about like making dumb decisions. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm making some type of dumb decision, but I never make it again though. You know what I mean? I do some dumb things in my life, but at the end of the day, like I know that you're willing to put in the work. I just know that you need a little guidance, and I always felt like, remember I told you like, hey, like something with you that I've always noticed, and I feel like a lot of people might have the same character. Is like they start hanging out with certain people and they start wanting to become like them, and not like they don't take the good in the person, they try to become the person. And with you always said like, bro, stay who you are. Like you're good at X, Y, and Z, double down on that. You know what I mean? Like your programming, the way that you I learned a lot, but a lot of my personal training comes from you, and how I train my clients comes from you, and also Jordy. But when it comes to the detail, it came from you. So I've learned over the years of getting older is that I don't want to become like the person. I want to become like a spin-off version of the person. I take something that's good from them that I like, and I implement that into my lifestyle. So maybe if it's like one way I'm saving this way, but then I learned that Jeffrey saves this way and it works better for him. And then I kind of look at him like, well, that's better than the way I do it. I get rid of my habit and I replace it with that thing. Or the way like, oh, I like the way Big John explains this to people, but I don't like that. So I'm going to take that thing, replace it with the way I explain things to people, but I'm going to keep my spin on it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that just comes with over time of understanding like, who you are, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that you don't have to be like other people. You could want to be like other people, like in a way, like, like, oh man, I like how this guy presents himself, or I like that this person has very white teeth, or whatever it might be. But I realize like I don't have to become that a spinning image of that person. I just have to become like a spinning image of that person, like a part of it, right? And I feel like, maybe that's what you were doing when you came out here. You're like, well, shoot, my boy AJ, he's made it, which I don't think I made it. Oh, I like Chris. I like the way this. Oh, he's made it. I'm going to be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think now you realize that we talked about this last podcast of like being spread thin. I think you became spread thin of like not knowing who Big John, becoming a different version of Big John that I feel like you didn't have to change.
Mm-hmm. And that's where you're talking about, where I was taking things from other people, but I was also, like you said, I would see where everyone was at. I'm like, okay, this must work. I should probably do that. And that's what messed me up.
What do they say, master of
all trades? Or no?
Was it? Well, isn't it? There's longer like quotes to that. Master of one. No, it says no. What's that quote? A jack of all trades, but a master of none. But a jack of all trades is better than a master of none. So, man, I guess in a way, it's like that's a double-edged sword on that one. I don't even know what that quote means anymore. I don't even know what that means anymore.
So you know what? Everyone in the circuit, especially being out here in Vegas, everyone keeps saying like, you're not just a trainer, and that's what I would just kind of just label myself. I'm like, well, what do you do? I'm just a trainer. I train. I'm a trainer. I didn't know what else.
Yeah, you were
like, who else is John? Like, what else do I do? Like,
who is Big John?
Who is Big John?
Did you watch that podcast? Who are you?
You
should watch that podcast right now.
Who are you?
On Modify Your Life podcast.
Who are you? But it's just like, you really got to dig deep in like those moments where in my apartment, I got my first eviction 2 weeks before going to our show, right?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I didn't let you guys know because I was figuring it out.
That's right.
So, because for me, it was like, I called Mikey. Mikey was always a guy that would like listen. And Mikey was like, bro, you know what? You probably just have to stay and work and get and pay, and so you can pay the apartment and not go to the show. I'm like, bro, I did not waste 9 months to not go to no show. So I'm going to go to the show, and if I come back to a locked door, then fuck it, I figure it out. But he's like, let AJ know. I'm like, nah, not yet. Like, why not? I'm like, let me figure this out first. And then if I have to, I will go. But I am not going to say anything until I figure this out myself. So I was in my living room. I was fucking crying. I was like, yo, this is fucking life right now. Like life is really hitting me. Like, and then I was like, okay, cool. I'm crying. I'm like, nah, fuck that. Let me go walk outside. Like I put myself in this situation. I knew where I fucked up. Let me just go walk, clear my head. I started walking. And then one of my clients called me, my online clients, and I let her know my situation. And she's like, yeah, I'm going through it. She's like, you're really going through that? I'm like, yeah. And I forgot what she said, but something sparked. And even though I had my eviction paper, I'm like, look, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to show it to everyone. Look, this is what I went through, and this is where I'm at today. Like, I went through the eviction. I lost the apartment, but here I am. This is why, because I didn't give up. I started working on the online, started making programs. I just went into my work. I'm like, that's all I can focus on. Just focus on me and get better. Ended up figuring it out. Got October, went to a show, did the show. It was great. November came. I was thin, got the eviction again. Thankfully, the apartment lets me pay late, so I was able to pay it. Boom, got it November done. December came, a lot happened, so I couldn't make it. But I did not allow myself to like just give up on myself. December was a hard time. Like December, I just couldn't. I even felt bad I couldn't get you guys gifts for Christmas. Like I didn't, I didn't know how to tell you guys like, hey, I can't get you gifts because I'm about to get evicted. It was just hard,
Yeah.
But to me, it's just like, damn, you brought me up here, and this is where I'm at. Like I fucked up. And fast forward, January comes, we all talk, we're here, I'm back. And honestly, it was something I needed to go through.
I think you did need it, man.
I did need it.
I feel like, cause like,
I felt like it was given. I rushed. I felt like I got everything so fast. I didn't really appreciate it because it was just everything was just go, 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 go. First 3 months here. Right now for me, it feels go, 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 but it's more at a controlled pace. Like I know what I need to do.
you focus on that long-term success.
Yeah.
Like there's, and now too, the consistency is everything, man. It's like, understanding that easy come, easy go for sure. Now, I'm not saying it didn't work for your apartment, but because I even said before, I was like, I wonder if like maybe we had you move out too fast. Like maybe we should let you build up a couple months of rent or something like that. But I feel like I feel like it was the best time for you to learn this experience because remember, man, there's someone in their 20s right now that's going through this. It doesn't have a homie that wants to have his back. It doesn't have a homie that'll bring them in. And, I've never tell you there's anything in my house you can't use. Right. Honestly, you eat my food every day. You just drank two of my Dr. Peppers, honestly.
Containers.
Yeah. He will use everything in my house, but he's like, no, bro, I don't use your containers. Those are yours. I'm like, that's where you draw the line at my containers. Use my dude wipes, everything else, my cologne. Yeah, you draw your line at a Glad container. That's insane. Right. But no, I feel like, and I feel like you respect it a lot more because we had that amazing conversation about like, I talked about the iPad and the MacBook and that it wasn't just an iPad and a MacBook. That was X amount of clients. Right, that's X amount of hours I had to work. Same thing. I had a conversation with Frankie too, and I share that stuff with you, not because like, hey man, I want you to feel okay. Like Frankie messes up too. Like we all mess up. I lost, my humble for a second. You've lost your humble for a second. Frankie, we all do, But I feel like having a true friendship, you'll be able to call it out. You know what I mean? Like the first couple of days you moved here, I'm not going to say I was tough, but I'm like, there's certain things I expect from you, right? Because this is round 2 now. This is different. Like round 1, like you get to like, okay, he doesn't know. Okay, yeah, no, I'll tell him to do better. Okay, but now it's like, no, like if you're really gonna learn a lesson, then everything round 2 you're better, right? Round 2 you're cleaner. Round 2 you're working harder. Round 2 you're because you should be more terrified of round 2 because you already know what happens if you do the same exact path again, right? Like when we get into like the whole weight loss stuff, like you should be terrified of the next time you lose weight because you already know what giving up on yourself look like. So I don't want to feel like that again, right? Same thing with when he comes into failing. Like I don't ever want to fail again. So what am I going to do differently? And at the end of the day, like I don't feel like you failed, honestly, because I know your biggest thing is like I'm sorry, man. Like I failed you and Frankie. It's impossible to fail me if you're still trying. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I look at it. Like I tell my clients the same thing. Like I don't care if you didn't check up for 2 weeks. I don't care if you gained 100 pounds in 6 days. You didn't fail me. I'm not gonna get upset. Let's move forward. But if you give up on yourself, now that's a hurt to this. Like that's when I feel like crap. Like that's when I feel like crap as your friend or as a coach. I'm like, damn, like of everything I've taught this person, everything I've taught Big John, like giving up, like that hurts more than someone, you losing an apartment or someone gaining a couple of pounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because man, when you give up on yourself, you are just feeling, you're just basically telling yourself you're not worth anything. Like when you genuinely give up on something, not something that just didn't work out. Because comes a certain point. There's people out there that gave 100%. There's going to be people that give 100% in this football game to come up, and they're not going to win. But they still gave it 100%. But they're not going out there. The other team's going to score a football goal, and then they're going to walk off the field because, that's it, I give up. But they already scored a goal. We lost.
It's called a touchdown.
No, or whatever the hell it is, bro. I don't pay attention to no sport. That's where you're coughing over there. Stay away. But you know what I mean? But like, that's when I feel that you really experience failure. Like when you genuinely give up on yourself, when you look at yourself and you're like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. It's getting too hard. And like that is, I feel like the worst thing you could do to your ego, to your self-esteem, to your personal self and just growth and just you as a human being is really damaging, because when you give up on yourself, I feel like there's nothing worse than giving up on yourself. Yeah. Someone else giving up on you can't control it. You know, your dad leaving you when you're a kid, can't control that. Your mom leaving you when you're a kid, you can't control that. The guy breaking up with you because they don't like the way you look anymore, you can't control that. But something you control is walking away from yourself and your goals and what you believe you should be. That should break the goal that's on.
Hard.
That's a hard one.
That's a hard
You know
one.
what I mean?
I mean, I almost went through it.
Almost. I had to pull him by his thong. I had to bring him back into Vegas. But like, you know what I mean? Because I know, reason why I did it is you're my boy.
Yeah.
But the main reason why I did it is because I was not going to let you go back somewhere with your tail between your legs. And that's when because he wouldn't hit when you left. It would have hit in a couple of days, in a couple of weeks when you realize like, damn, that wasn't a dream. Everything, all this happened. And then you're going to start playing everything you could have did better. And then you're going to have to hear crap from everyone down there in Cali, people from here in Vegas. You definitely heard it from me. Right, you know what I mean? And like I was like, nah, he ain't gonna because you're not gonna be able to handle that. You're a little soft. No disrespect. I'm not being disrespectful. You know what I mean? It's a good thing. It's I didn't say feminine. I said soft. You know what I mean? You know, charming. But at the end of the day, like I feel like it would have been a hard pill for you to swallow. Yeah, that would have. And I don't feel it's time, bro. Like if I really thought you were just being a complete jackass, like honestly, if I really thought that you did not, like you just effed it all off on purpose, like you just didn't care, you thought everything came free, I wouldn't have offered to do what I did. But me and Frankie both agree that like you've gotten a lot smarter, you've gotten a lot better, you've understand. I think this is like a lesson like that no book you could have read could have shown you, no movie you could have watched. It's like something that you had to go through. Like you had to let life punch your ego and drop kick it and suplex it
100 times
and then smash it.
It was crazy. You know what? Honestly, even just being back here again, it hit me. Was I think like last week? I'm like, damn, I'm really sleeping on a blow-up mattress. Fuck, son.
You gotta upgrade though.
It's nice.
Also, that you're not paying the top tier of being my pet. That you got a free upgrade. So I don't know if we're charging you extra now or whatever it might be, but you got a queen mattress that blows up itself and has a headboard.
Well, they all blow up each other.
Well, this one has a headboard though, and it's a queen mattress.
My feet don't hang no more.
He had a twin, and now you're the king. So like, do we like charge him extra? Like,
I work for that.
Oh, you work for that? Okay. He worked for that. So his round two, he did. Okay. His amenities. Oh, yeah. And he's like, hey, I live here now. Where are my amenities? That's what he said. This guy, I was like, yo, the other day, Big John's like, hey, I'm going to go jacuzzi. I'm like, hey, you pay to live here, bro. You don't pay for the amenities. That's extra, all right? No jacuzzi. You only get the gym for 30 minutes in the morning for cardio. That's it. Then you're out of here. But no, man. Yeah, I feel like it's something you had to go through. Like, so what are you changing up this time? Like, what's different now? Answer correctly. I'm kicking you out. Yeah. No, just keep it.
It just being more organized. Creating habits and not going 0 to 100. That was one thing I was trying to do all last year. Would be okay. Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up at 5, cardio, do all that, and then I don't because I'm going from not doing that to acting like I do that every day.
Or had not having a set goal why to do it.
Yeah,
just to do it.
It's like just waking up and like having a goal that leads nowhere.
Yeah,
that's what it was. And now it's okay. It's my goal is going all in with myself to grow, to become better, to educate myself, to read more. I'm not going crazy with the cardio. I'm getting my cardio done. I'm not waking at 5, but I'm starting to build the habit of waking up earlier. For example, I'm also drinking like my green tea. That's something I do every morning now, making that a habit. And then I'm adding little things to create more habits. So where this is now just a routine, and then I'll grow from that. That's going to allow me from instead of having my head above water where I'm like, okay, clients coming in, money's coming in, I'm good, I can chill. It's like, no, now that I created this habit, now these are holding me accountable for the days that I don't feel like waking up early. Like Saturday's coming, I don't have to wake up at 6, I don't have to wake up at 7, but I'm gonna force myself to still wake up at that time, get up, still drink my tea. If I'm gonna go do cardio, then I'll go do cardio. But that's what I'm gonna do every morning. To still
You're
get
building
up
something with a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably people out there right now that wake up at 4 a.m. for no reason. Like if like you know because we talked about before, like what were the people doing before they start wake up at 4 a.m? Because like so many people look at the people that are successful already and be like, well, they wake up at 4 a.m, so I gotta wake up at 4 a.m. But they didn't see that person that woke up at 8 a.m. and then started building discipline. Their life got busier, so they had to create more time for themselves, and now they wake up with a purpose. Making up 30 minutes to an hour early, I don't do that. Well, I do it 2 hours actually, because that's what I personally. No, is it 2 hours? Not 2 hours. I wake up 2 hours earlier because that's what I need, because I gotta go do my cardio. On the days I do my cardio, I gotta go do my cardio. Then I got to do my mobility because my hips are bad. And during that time, I'm listening or watching to a podcast or a sermon. Now I'm doing that because I wake up already in a terrified mood that I'm gonna lose everything. There's been nights where I couldn't sleep because of it. So I don't do that because this is just what successful people do. I do that because I have to talk to people all day from different backgrounds, from different parts of their journeys, different, personalities, different mindsets, different goals. You know what I mean? So I have to do the things that pour into me that make me feel like a good person, so I continue to pour into people all day. Yeah. Right. And so like I don't wake up and read a book or listen to a sermon and do cardio is for my mental health. And do my mobility because it just sounds like a good thing to do. I do it because those stuff right there, when I get it done, I feel so good. Taking my supplements, reading my book or listening to a sermon or listening to a podcast, any type of self-development, right? Sometimes listening to my own podcast. I listened to the Who Are You the last time. I was like, damn, like I can't believe I speak like that. Like that's me now, Yeah. And then I get to hop on, and then I get to have my breakfast, right? Make my breakfast. I wake up Francine, and then I make my breakfast, and then I sit down for a second. I scroll like a normal human being, and then I'm like, okay, that's good. The only thing I really had changed recently is that I started controlling. I've always had control. I've had more self-control on who or what I follow on social media. That has been my big thing lately. I want to scroll down a feed of nothing but what is going to better me. That's what I've made it a goal. So no Instagram models, no freaking anything doesn't better me. If you scroll on my feed right now, look at my search, it's all there's some Rolexes and snowboarding, but that interests me. That stuff is interesting. But like, there's a lot of motivation. There's like Andy Frisella stuff. There's, the podcasts I follow them, the real Matt Graham, like stuff like that. Like none of the drama stuff. The only drama thing I think is I follow, because people check this. People are like, well, why do you follow this? I'm crossing my T's and dotting my I's. The only people I follow are the big accounts that posted me before, and they follow me back. Like World Star follows me and stuff like that. So they do post some stuff, but I just have it muted. But other than that, like I stay away from all the nonsense I don't need or the people that I don't really know. Follow all my clients, so I see their stuff every day. Like if you scroll through my Instagram, I want it to be really positive, and not saying life is like super positive and everything's perfect, but I can't control the negative stuff that happens in my life, but I could control what I consume physically and mentally, right? So if I could control that, then I want to see stuff that are positive. I want to see stuff that's going to uplift me. I want to see transformations. I want to see sick-ass watches or some sick-ass cars. Those motivate me. That stuff motivates me. Remember when I first started the podcast, it's in the room now, but it says all starts with a dream. It's a Lamborghini. That stuff does motivate me. It used to be right there. Now we got a full-on set, Yeah. So that's the one thing that I personally did change in not only my morning routine, but my day-to-day routine is that, and I stopped listening to murder mysteries. Remember I was listening to that so much? I felt like it was getting too negative, getting too dark for me. But even I still love them though. I miss watching them. I look at them like, I'll watch one. I'm like, no, haven't done it all January. I have not watched on one murder mystery. Mr. Bolin and another one, the other one on YouTube. I haven't watched any of them. We did watch one driving to California. But even with that, I was just getting too many dark stories, too many and I want to really just, not live a perfect life, but I want to be as close as perfect, whatever perfect is to what I consume every single day.
Because what we watch, what we listen to does affect us. Like
100%. Francine will watch that freaking feisty, that gossipy stuff, or she'll watch like those novellas or something like that.
We had a crab leg to what you're watching.
Oh, that's true. See? But that's a good outdoorsman. That's good.
But that's good though. That's stuff like
That's literally, honestly, that's so funny you just said that. So with Big John saying, so over the last like month, I've been watching. Me and Frankie have been watching, and John, Big John now, the Outdoorsman. You know what I mean? The Outdoor Boys or something like that. He's like just a dad who takes his kids and family out camping and traveling. He builds like these huts out of snow and stuff. And for the last like month, I've been watching what he eats. Like this guy will eat like 5,000 calories in one sitting. But one, you're supposed to eat more calories when it's in the cold. Two, how much walking and hiking. He builds his like stuff from scratch, everything from scratch, right? So he'll eat like tomahawks. He'll eat, crab legs. So the other day I wanted crab legs. We ate crab legs. And yesterday I was hungry. I was having a stressful day. I was like, I'm going to the store. I come back with a freaking big ass tomahawk. But that's funny. Yeah, you are what you consume, man. Like honestly, that's literally right there. Just a point. Like you could go to my stories and watch that. Like, well, by the time you see it, it's gonna be gone. But you know what I mean? That's very true. You are what you consume, right? And not only physically but mentally.
Yeah.
So how do you feel now? Like, how do you feel this time around? Like, how do you feel with like round 2? Like, how are you mentally feeling about everything?
I'm feeling good now. There are moments where I do get in my head. There are moments I do stress, but that's where I'm now pushing out of that. So there was, for example, I think it was yesterday. So I got in my car accident. I got hit 2 days ago. Nothing crazy. Just got hit. Popped the heads, the passenger driver's seat. Those things popped off. And I was fine. Little tweak in the hip. But
when those things, what are you talking about? Things pop? It was like an airbag?
Those
the headrest?
The headrest. Yeah.
Like it was an airbag in it?
No, well I don't know, but those popped off.
They just came right off.
They're off. They're hanging, but they're off.
Do they come off like when you get in a car accident or?
I think so, or because it looks like you can push it back in, but I haven't pushed it back in because if they ask for photos, I mean.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know how to pop them off. I mean, I got to YouTube it how to pop it in, but yeah. And so that hit me, and
got a nail in your tire.
A nail in my tire.
And what happened last year too? Didn't something happen right when you moved here too? Your belt.
Everything's happening again.
Like, well, it's better than
the belt.
The belt was more scary than the nail in the tire cost you $25.
The funny thing is, my belt did rip on the way to coming back here. I was driving here from work, and it fell off. It was already burning when I got into the gate, and then the nail. I got an alert when I was 5 minutes. I was on the freeway 5 minutes from the house, and it went off, and it was at 20 the air, and I was like.
Oh, so that was on the freeway.
Yeah,
you ran over on the freeway.
Please let me get home. I did not want to be stranded on the freeway. Got home and then started going flat. So, going through all that stuff, and I wasn't letting the accident get to me, but it put me in a weird position. I'm like, damn, I got hit, and people are telling me hey, you should go, get physical therapy, go get something, because these injuries you don't feel right away. They come
you don't
later. And my mom got in 3 car accidents, and she said they all came later.
Mom got paid.
Yeah. And I'm like, fuck. Now I'm thinking in my head, fuck, is this gonna fuck me up later?
Yeah.
And then I'm starting to think about it. Gotta look for attorneys, this and that. And I got down bad yesterday, and I'm like, now I'm gonna work out. So I started working out, and the workouts lately, where I've been finding been feeling good. The workouts I've been training hard. I've been feeling the pain. It's just where I feel like I want to stop, but I just keep pushing. I keep going, and in my head I'm like, damn, I'm not stopping. I'm going. I'm pushing heavier.
Oh, now you want to work hard.
Yeah,
now you want to train hard.
Right?
Wow,
I'm training hard, and I'm like, this is how I used to train. This is me. This is what I want, and I'm seeing my body change. And as I'm going through that, I'm pushing past the stress where before I would let it get to me.
Yeah.
I would feel bad. I would feel sorry for myself, and I would doubt myself, and then I won't post content, and down that fucking hole again. But now I'm like, nah, I'm not letting that happen no more. That's not me. That's not who I am. I'm becoming better, because that got me nowhere, just feeling sorry for myself. And plus, I'm a trainer. I have people that I have to train and get them to where they want to be, right? So if I can't get myself to where I want to be, how am I going to get them to get there? Now
we're getting it. The only way to lead is from the front, huh?
Yeah. And that's what also keeps me going, right? Because if I'm getting now, I text my clients in the morning, yo, what's up? How we doing? How are the meals? Or what's your water looking like? How are you feeling after the workout? And they're appreciating that, and they're hitting me up. Oh, I'm down 0.5 pound today.
Feels so good, right?
It feels fucking great. And I wasn't doing this last year. I would text, But then again, I wouldn't be as consistent.
Half-ass coaching.
I was half-assing it.
Honestly.
And it got me nowhere. But I was half-assing myself too.
So does that kind of fall in the line of how you do one thing is how you're going to do everything?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Like today I went to Sprouts and I dropped off the bags and I had the cart. The cart to put where all the carts go?
I will call it the cart rack.
Yeah,
I don't even know the name of
I
that.
had to pick up the cart and take it over. There was like I don't know, like a structure or like a cement that had to go over. So I just picked up my cart, walked it over, and walked an extra like minute to put the cart away. And I'm like, nah, I got to do this. I know people left their carts literally right next to cars. I'm like, that's not how I'm gonna do it.
Thank you. Someone just did that to my truck.
Yeah, I hate that.
Hit
I'm
my
like, you know
freaking
what?
truck
How I
with the
do
cart.
one thing is how I do everything. So that's what it was.
See, like, and did that not make that small task did not make you feel good to know that you were different from 95% of the world who just leave their carts in there?
Yes.
So it's like literally we create our own happiness when it comes into this stuff. When we start doing the right thing, we feel like a good person. We feel like we're doing the right thing. We know we're doing the right thing. I'm sorry, I'm over here trying to go back and forth from different Instagram clips. You know what I mean? We know we're doing the right thing, so we start feeling the right way, right? So when your actions start lining up with who you know you should become or who you want to become, then you get a little treat, right? We get that instant gratification. We get the release of dopamine, right? But it's like, just do the right thing.
Yeah.
Like it's a simple thing. It's like, you know that you have to wake up at 7 a.m. in order to do a couple things before you train your client at 9:30. Get up at 7 a.m. Yeah. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it going to be cold? Hell yeah, it's Vegas. Is it going to be difficult some days? Yes. Are you going to stress out some days? Yes. Are you going to get it done? The answer should be yes. But doesn't mean that it's always yes to everybody. Yeah. It should be yes, right? And we were just having a conversation, early, with Frankie on the podcast, where I asked her if she thought that I did too much, I was stretched thin, and I told her no. I've learned that this is how I'm wired. I've always been on the go, go, go. The only thing is different from this personality to the old Anthony Lopez personality is before I used to talk about go, go, go. Now I actually do it, right? So now I stay consistent with it. I keep myself accountable with it. And I'm excited to see where you're going to be over the next, the next 12 months, because I know if done correctly, you may not be out of my place, right? Well, let's not rush that. But I know you're going to be in a way better place in 2025 than you were in 2024 100%. And in 2023. And if you make the same mistakes and you start getting comfortable and you start becoming lazy, because honestly, the definition of comfortable is lazy, right? You start falling back into your old ways. You start worrying about the wrong things. You start spending your money on dumb things. Then you will literally be back in the same place you were in 2023 and 2024. You're going to be there in 2025. And that would be the most insane thing you could do to yourself. Because you already know where the roller coaster takes you. You already took the other roller coaster. That shit crashed and burned a long time ago. You're gonna ride that roller coaster again, or you're gonna ride this one over here that's you don't know where it's gonna take you, but with hard work and you keep on building with the consistency and discipline, holding yourself accountable, doing shit you don't want to do when it needs to get done, keeping that discipline, then who knows where this roller coaster is gonna take you? But you'll never know if you don't start working on it. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's get it, man.
I'm excited for, man.
That's me too. I'm excited for it too. It's the first two you pay rent today. I like that, man. That's a good day. It's a good day, man. Nah, man, I'm proud of you, man. I'm excited to see what you do. We're definitely gonna get you on the podcast once. If you love having Big John on the podcast and us sharing his story and where he's at and how everything's going, and kind of just following up with them, let's go to comment down below. So I get more comments on my vlogs than I do podcasts, and I'm not sure why though, because I do have a decent amount of views on my on our podcast. But maybe it's because the podcast, we talk more about personal and serious stuff like that. So just a simple thing of hey, really like this podcast. Thanks, needed this. Stuff like that. You don't have to dive in deep if you don't feel comfortable. But seeing those comments, seeing those likes, seeing people share it sometimes on Instagram and tagging me, our Modify Your Life podcast, it does feel good. So if you learned anything, if you gained some type of knowledge, if you got to laugh, if you got to cry, if you absolutely hate us, you know what I mean? If there's some knowledge, some golden nuggets dropped, if you took some notes, please go ahead and share it, give us a follow, subscribe, like, comment, and then Big John's Instagram's up right now. We're gonna throw it over before we go there. So Big_John, which I just realized it was Big_John. Remember I told you last time? I did not know. For some reason I'm dyslexic. I just seen Big John. Well, anyways, man, thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me on.
Good conversation.
It is raining.
No, I said shout out your training.
Oh, my training.
Oh, I charge for plugging in your truck.
Damn.
Yeah, I charge.
Anyways, if you guys are in Las Vegas, I am at Savage Fitness. I am a personal trainer. do one-on-one group training. And if you are not in Vegas, or if you're in Vegas too, I also do online training. So if you guys are interested, hit my line or send me a DM.
I was gonna say, how are they gonna hit your line?
I don't know. Just send me a DM, fill out the link in my bio, and then we're good to go.
I don't know how I feel about it. Online coaches shut their stuff off. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know if I let that one in.
Yeah, I don't like
no,
it
it's
when
key.
AJ does it either.
Oh my! Oh, sorry, influencer. Nah, man. Honestly, Big John is a great online coach. He's not better than me, but definitely, he's definitely good.
I learned.
You
I learned from him. So
no, you can't say that because don't say you learn from me because if you're not good, I'm be there. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, he is good. Hit him up, especially for one-on-one coaching. This is where I get all my knowledge from being a personal trainer. Let's go, man. Good podcast. Hope everyone has a great day. One of my Modify Life podcast.
There's no way that this is real, man. It can't be.
And we are.